Hey everybody, good evening, good evening. This is just a pop-up conversation, nothing, that we had scheduled out once before, but this is in response to DJ Twitch's unfortunate suicide that happened earlier this week. There's some conversations that need to be had. I think it exposed some issues, some breaks, some little things that we can talk about. And so this is a conversation we want to have. Um, I don't know what happened. I just lost my guest. I'm with Life Coach Chris. When he comes back on, I will put him back up. But I reached out to him to ask if he would share about the need to be a safe space, especially among Black males. I wanted to get the perspective of Black males taking, the same route as one of my good friends, Jermaine, from a Fighting Chance Counseling Services. She has a Black male series where she's talking about different things concerning Black male mental health. So I did ask Chris if he would come on. Life Coach Chris, I want to call him right. Okay, Life Coach Chris. I did ask him to come on to just share and give a different perspective, really give Black women, yes, and women a charge so that we can make sure that we are creating a safe space for males and we are allowing them to be vulnerable so that we can try to make sure we reduce the amount of suicide or the amount of people who feel like they can't share with anyone to the point where they have to end their own lives. So Chris, Life Coach Chris, welcome. Glad to have you. Please introduce
Yes.
yourself. Let us know a little bit about yourself.
Appreciate you. Yeah, let me slide through. Good evening, everyone. Like my sister said, this is just just a conversation. We're finna rap about our community. Um, there's been there's a high rate of Black men committing suicide. It's a need for our community to band around this, come together, and talk about this and put it out there, and find a solution to the problem or find solutions to the problems because it could be more than just one. But yeah, I'm Chris Henson, a community influencer, life coach. I do youth mentoring. I co-host Safe Havens for Brothers because men need that space to just to vent, talk, work on our mental state, our spiritual state, all of that good stuff, man. I am a husband of my wife going to kill me 4 or 5 years, something like that. But look, I'm married. So hopefully she'll get on me, man. But yeah, 4 or 5 years, something like that. I'll be losing count. But anyways, man, listen, man, I'm your brother, your friend, your homie, uh, maybe your favorite uncle, all of that good stuff, man. So look, I am here to chop it up with my sister and just spread positivity in our community, man. And again, just find solutions to the problems out here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, and I want to be honest, when the marriage is so good, you do lose track. So
See,
sis,
appreciate you. That's why
don't
you my
put him in a
sister.
headlock. I got you, bro. I'm trying to protect you.
Good
It's
looking
so
out.
good that he's like, ooh, I don't even remember how long it is.
I
So
lost track.
here we go. Lost track of the bliss. I love it. I love your wife so much, giving honor to her. She's awesome and amazing, wonderful woman of God. And I really love you both. So thank you again for agreeing. So let's just jump right into it. I want to ask about your own personal journey with being vulnerable, what challenges you faced, and then what are some of the trends you're seeing now with I males, yes, but I really want to talk about Black males, right?
Mm,
Because it is very difficult for Black males to share. My perspective, it's like, okay, you guys always have to be so tough and strong, and
yep,
you can't cry. And we say it
yep.
from young, don't cry, be a
Mm.
man. And then we wonder why older men are growing up emotionless and unable to cry, right? So we can't have it both ways. So please just share.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. So true. You look right off the bat, you said a mouthful. That's it's my own personal journey. And just like a lot of other Black men, from a young age, we've been told to, man up, don't show emotions, don't have feelings. If something going wrong with us, don't say anything. You know what I mean? It's been instilled in us that it's a form of weakness if we voice, issues that are going wrong with us. And so we just hold it in. So as we become adults, like you said, we get to a certain point, in our 20s and 30s and 40s. And yeah, we get in these relationships, we get married, we have kids, and we can't even, display affection and, emotions with our children and with our, excuse me, with our wives because for so long, our atmospheres and our environments and, in our families, we've been told that it's not manly of you to cry. It's not manly of you to show emotions. It's not manly of you to, speak out, what's going on with you, hold that in, man up, that type of stuff like that. And so when you get older, it's like, being vulnerable, letting the wall down and letting your guard down. That's foreign to us. It's like, what is that? You know what I mean? And it causes, friction in our, not just, marriages and, relationships with the opposite sex, but, just relationships in general, friendships, even with your homies and stuff like that, man. So yes, um, it's tough for us. It's tough. It's something that I'm still working on, to be honest with you, but I've gotten better. I've gotten better. It's hard work. It's a hard work uh, to be vulnerable, to go from being hard, quote unquote hard, and transitioning into that, showing emotions and opening up and just putting yourself out there. And it's also a form of fear, to be honest with you as well. It's a thing. It's a form of fear to put yourself out there. We shine back from that as well. It's like, I don't want to, expose myself, but that's a form of fear. And sometimes we don't even think of it like that. It takes bravery to be vulnerable, to be honest with you. And, me on my own personal journey, what I've come to find out, it's not, is it, it's not manly to hold yourself back. It's not manly to, not show emotions. You know what I mean? Being vulnerable, that's true strength right there. You're actually weak if you can't. And I don't mean no disrespect. Please hear my heart. That's a form of weakness when you can't open up and be free and express yourself and you holding back. That's when, if you can't do that, that's a form of weakness. True strength is coming forth to your woman or to your homies, to whoever, your mentor, your pastor, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, all of that. You can go to those people and you can talk and you can open up and freely express yourself. That's true strength right there. That's mastering yourself. That's flowing in a place of grace and flowing in a place of confidence and strength and all of that good stuff. But yes, men have to do a hard work. And because, not to keep rambling on, but because for so long we've been fed a false lie, a false truth. We took that false truth from the age of whatever, 5, 6, 7 years old. We took that false truth and made it into a negative false reality, and we've been carrying that for so long. And so now it's a time where 2022, we're getting in this place of therapy and vulnerability and opening up and all that good stuff like that. It's a hard work that needs to be done, but I see his brothers like myself, we're making strides. We're getting to that place, and it's a good place to see men flowing in a place of strength and confidence, that they can come through and be like, I can expose myself. I got something going on. I need help, boom, boom, boom. So it's super dope.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I wanted to definitely bring you on, because I'm like, there are people who, brothers, I want to single it out, right? I don't want to generalize. I think sometimes we're like, people of color. No, I want to generalize. Black men do not often have a voice, right? I think it's okay to single out that demographic, because we see such, like, oh my gosh, everything has to be held in. We can't hear anything. And then on my end, as a woman, as a Black woman, I'm like, what am I doing? Am I doing my part to make sure that when a Black man comes to me, not even a romantic partner, a brother, a friend,
Mm-hmm.
am I a safe enough space for them to share? Am I creating an atmosphere conducive for them to be vulnerable and open and making sure that they feel heard? Or when they speak, do I just keep speaking over them or talking over them? Like, that's the awareness that's the charge that I'm giving out, that level of awareness to women in general. Are we making sure that we're creating that safe space? And when we get men into that safe space, right? We don't have any ulterior motives, right? We're not trying to slide in someone's DMs or get the hookup or this,
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
that,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that. We're
yeah.
not talking about that. A safe space is a safe space with no
A-
strings attached, that you allow someone to share,
mm,
communicate, talk, and cry if the Black man needs to. That's okay.
absolutely,
I don't
absolutely.
mind Black male tears. I think they're
Look,
great.
look, and don't call him a punk after the fact.
let's talk about that. Like, we sometimes are like, I need my man to be so macho. Now, we can't have them be emotionless robots and nurturing and emotional and tapping into their family. Now, which is it? So we have to have that balance. You mentioned, and I want to say this before we get off. I do want to make sure that you share the information for the men's group that you're involved with, all the things that you're doing to help
Absolutely.
support men. I want to make sure that we get that out. But also, can you just speak to what happens in those spaces, right? Give us some behind the scenes. Like, I'm not a black man, so I can't be in those spaces. What happens in those spaces when black men are free to share, free to express themselves? Like, what type of things happen there?
Man, wow.
Yeah.
Um, and I can go on and on about that, but I'm gonna start off with healing.
Mm.
That's the first one that comes to mind. Healing takes place. Just to be surrounded around, brothers that are, on the same mission as you, on the same path, uh, dealing with some of the same situations that you're dealing with. And, we all looking for some solutions to the problems. Uh, it's a great place to be in. It's a great place because where I'm strong at, I mean, hold on, where I may be weak at, there's another brother that's strong in. I'm 35. So let's say there's a brother that's 45 and I'm going through a certain situation. He's like, y'all remember when I was, around his age, I went through the exact same thing. So I can give him, guidance and grace and, advice on how to maneuver through that situation and come out, what's the word? Come out victorious.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what takes place with that right there. Wisdom being passed around, just fellowship, man. That'd be for the most part, because I've just gotten into this flow, as far as like, my original passion, and it's still my passion is youth, but God directed me into a flow of providing a space for men. Um, and for the last few months, since I've been in that flow and since I've been in that vein, from what I do apologize if you hear my wife in the background talking. Uh,
Fine.
uh, from from what I've gathered, most men look, we just want to talk. We just want to. Some brothers they just want to vent. Some brothers just want to, the woo sign, and just let it out. Like, yo, this is what I'm going through, and whoop whoop whoop. And then after that, it's even that in itself, venting and letting it getting that 1,000-pound gorilla off of your chest.
Mm.
Even that right there, that's healing right there, man. Because brothers walk around, we hold so much stuff in, we don't have no one to talk to.
Yep.
So when we get into a space that what myself and my pastor and a few other brothers in my church, what we've doing, uh, it's a free space to let some steam off, to vent, to talk and gain wisdom and guidance in certain situations, man. So it's great. It's definitely a safe haven, a safe space. It's a place of grace, and as men, I'm trying to tell you without giving out too much, man, because I
Right.
like
No,
piggy
I want
stepping.
no share it all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But again, man, it's a place for us brothers, man, to just build, man. When fellowship is so powerful, and when you think about fellowship, you just think about talking, chatting, laughing, and just talking, just having some food and some juice, something like that, some tea, man, and just talking, man. There's so much power in that, and just being able to just fellowship as brothers, come together, man, and just talk, and again, gain that guidance and that advice, and you know. Coming up with solutions to your problems. It's so good. It is so good and it's so powerful, man. And I advise every man to get out here and seek something like that. I know we all don't have it. And I know sometimes, it's hard to come by. You may see some stuff on YouTube and some stuff on IG, but we crave that physical, in-person experience, man. And yeah, I admonish every brother to get out here, man, and do the work to find, whatever, work group, uh, safe haven, safe space for men to come together, man, and just flow, man. It's just something when brothers get together, great things happen. We bouncing ideas off of each other. We coming up with strategy on how to better ourselves as husbands, as leaders, as men, as fathers. We all everyone doesn't have all the answers, and so when you get around other brothers again that have walked a certain life, came out of their life victorious and can give you guidance and advice on how to maneuver through certain situations and, come out clean is beautiful, man. It's beautiful, man. So again, when men come together, when we get together, great things happen.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I just always admire how much accountability is created in those spaces where it's like you can talk, you can share, but if you need to be corrected, then that can happen too. So, can you just share about the need for men to have that accountability partner?
Yeah, definitely. Well, first there needs to be a trust, and then it needs to be a trust, and then it needs to be whoever's coming and giving that correction. That person also have like a certain level of, let me say, integrity. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I can receive correction from this brother right here because I see the way he walks, and I can respect that. So what he says, I can I can feel that penetrate me. I got that right there. But yeah, accountability, it's a must in our community, man, especially with black men, because again, it keeps us out of trouble. It keeps us out of, going into the, wrong places, that type of stuff like that. And so accountability is a must. If you want to, I wrote something down. I'm trying to think. I want to quote it just right. Codependence amongst team members brings out the best and successful version of you. So that's
Mm.
why. So yeah, when you have codependence and you have accountability, success is yours. It's guaranteed. Success is going to be yours, man. A great life is going to be yours, man. The best version of yourself is going to be yours, man. So accountability is so important. It's a must, so you can transform and become the best version of yourself. Um, you asked something, or you asked something earlier, man. You was sis. I'm trying to double back. You spoke about the accountability, but you also spoke about receiving correction. If I'm not mistaken, that's what
Yes,
it
I
was.
did.
It was the correction. Man, I would urge brothers to, if you're going out and you're seeking this, you're seeking, whatever you want to call it, correction, guidance. I would urge brothers to come in with a humble heart, come in with humility, come in with humility. Definitely, I know you can't, receive correction from everybody. So that, well, one thing about men, we will go into a space and we will scope out the scenery. And if that scenery is genuine, it's authentic, it's okay to let your guard down. And if you come to a brother and you express something to him and he hears it and he gives you correction, receive it. Because that brother, if he's genuine and the atmosphere is authentic, that means they only want the best for you.
Yeah, I mean, I love that, because it makes you be aware and you have to say, all right, am I even in the right headspace to enter into this place of accountability? Because correction and accountability is inevitable. Like if someone's doing something or if you have an accountability partner, you have to be open enough with them to say, hey, that doesn't sound right, that doesn't look right. So I love to see men cultivating those spaces, right? Where a lot of healing happens, deliverance, openness, that fellowship. I think it's so important. And to provide spaces, I feel like we're in such a feminist society, and I'm a woman. So yes, I want to see women empowered and lifted
Mhm.
up without having to bash males, right? I want to make that distinction that
Absolutely.
I don't need to put men down to lift me up. You know what I mean? Or to lift women up. So I think there has to be a balance. There has to be a, all right, what is society influencing us to think? And if we who are believers, the called out ones, the peculiar folks, if we are falling into what society is telling us, then we have to be aware of our mindset towards men based on the movies we see, even commercials. I mean, I'm so
Oh yeah.
like analytical at times that I'm watching that more women are driving the cars in commercials. I don't have
Mhm.
a problem with it,
You
but
peep
what
that?
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what is being said, what narrative is being given. We have to be so aware of that I don't need to put my brothers down to lift myself up, and that it only works if we're both. I'm not even talking about equality, I'm talking about a partnership. I'm talking about
Mhm.
working with someone to make sure that you are healthy, that you are well, that you are whole. and that there's no one feeling like they're being degraded or cast down, or I have to, step on your head to elevate myself. What?
Yeah.
So really, I say all that to really ask a question, another question. What would you say to Black women? What would you say is needed from us to make sure that we're making sure that Black men are feeling not feeling uh, insecure, or not feeling unsafe? How do we cultivate the spaces? What do we need to do to make sure that we're creating vulnerable, safe spaces for Black men to share? And this could be applied to any race, but I
Mhm.
really want to focus on our own, because there's such a deficit of mental health and sharing within our own community.
Man, it's funny you asked that. I was in a meeting about 2 days ago, man, and a sister was asking the exact same thing. She
We
want to
want to
be there too.
know.
Yeah, she want to be there to support her man and this and that. And so she was just racking her brain. How can I get him to open up, or how can I get, how can I support and this and that.
Yeah.
First off, let me say I appreciate that, because uh, not to get on my brothers, but to get on some of my brothers. They think Black women don't have our backs. And I'm like, they really, sisters, have our backs. So don't do them
Ooh,
like that, man. And this is a prime
ooh,
example. Yeah, like y'all want to know how to love on us. Y'all want to
yes.
know how to support us. So yeah, I had to give y'all props right there. And I told the sister, I'm like, you ain't even, don't overthink it. Like it's not even that difficult. It's nothing, you ain't got to go through 1,000 books to, seek out the answer. I told her, just keep doing what you're doing. Show genuine love, show genuine support. Um, Speak words of affirmations over your man. Uh, just show him love, show him you care, and everything. That that's a safe space right there. Be authentic, be genuine, give love, show that you care, and your man is gonna be all right. You ain't gotta you ain't gotta break your back, you ain't gotta bend your back, you ain't gotta, you know, go to, take him to Jamaica. I mean, that'd be dope. Could take him to Jamaica, but
Right.
you ain't gotta do all that right there. Just show him that you care. And that's gonna take your man. That's the support that most men need. If you want to do something extra, that's cool. But if you want to just, I want to say keep it basic, but that's the word that comes to mind. If you just want to keep it, just basic, that basic right there, because most men are simple. That's why I say basic. Most of us brothers, we don't need a whole lot. We're simple. And you just keep it basic. Show love, show support, show that you care. That's going to cultivate a space of, that's the safe space right there that we need right there. And that's where the support comes in at. And that's all we need. That's all
Yeah,
we need.
I love that, and that we don't have to really overthink it. Sometimes we like make it too big. Right. A trip to Jamaica, I think, will be welcomed by all, but it's as simple as just hearing someone, after a long day, you can just talk and chat and check in, and, be an active listener. Like when I was in school, for counseling, they teach you the importance of being an active listener, that I'm not going to be on my phone and I'm trying to check in with someone. I'm on my phone, or I'm like looking away. Like I'm showing that I'm being engaged. I mean, it's a little simple stuff like that. That's what I hear you saying, that it's very simple. It's nothing that has to be extravagant, although that is appreciated. But to
Absolutely.
start,
Hmm.
if we want to
Hmm.
find a place to start, we can build up to like the trips to Dubai and all that awesome, great, wonderful. But to start, to get
Yeah.
the conversation rolling, to get the healing started,
Yeah.
it's that simple stuff.
Yeah. And it can go a little something like this. I come in from a long day of work. And normally when I come in from work, I'm a little, chippy. I'm happy. Well, I was about to say chipper. I'm happy, got a smile on my face. And I come in, let's say I come in, this day I come in and, not that much energy, dragging my feet.
Mm.
Wife is like, yo, babe, what's going on? You okay? And I'm like, I don't feel like talking right now. And she comes and, say your woman comes through and, give you a hug and she's like, listen, babe, I understand that you don't want to talk right now, but I'm here for you whenever you're ready. I'm about to go cook you a nice little meal. I'm about to go whip you up a, barbecue sandwich and I'll bring it to you.
Sandwich.
That's what the simplicity right there. That's all a brother needs right there. And I guarantee you that's going to put that man in a, either it's going to put him in a better place, or that's going to build more, trust within him when it comes to, that support his woman or whatever. It's like, okay, she's here for me. And I'm telling you, the simplest brothers are simple. That's all we need. A barbecue sandwich and someone showing that they care for us, man.
Yeah, I love it, and just while you were talking, bro, I'm thinking like supported men support others well, right? So if you feel supported, you're going to support every area of your life, every aspect of your life. We're talking about with Sister Maria, we're talking about with your kids, talking about with your job, with other brothers. If you feel supported, that support, then you can in turn support other things. I mean, it's just like one
Hmm.
big circle. And so that's really why I wanted to have this conversation where it's like, how do we make sure, I keep reiterating that, how do we make sure that we are a safe space for someone, that they can feel comfortable talking to us and really sharing with us, right? That and then if we talk about being in the church and feeling comfortable to share and have a safe space, that's a whole nother topic, because there's so much stuff that happens in the church that you
Yeah.
don't want shared, but it gets out, right? And
Hmm.
so, and just stating the fact, a lot of churches have mostly women in them. And so the few brothers that are there, or the brothers that are there, sometimes really don't feel comfortable sharing. I mean, you don't, who do you have to share with, or what
Right.
space has been created? Which is why I really want to emphasize the importance of households of faith, really making sure to have a men's group, a women's group, men's group, to make sure that we are creating the spaces of accountability, of healing, of deliverance, right? If you're scared, if we're talking about trust issues, that's what I started thinking
Right.
about. A lot of us have trust issues. I'm just going to take it in the church. A lot of us have trust issues. And so we bring that in the church and we don't share. We just smile and say, I'm blessed and highly favored. Or we just, oh, I'm okay, I'm great. And we're dying on the inside. And so, how, even inside the household of faith, in our churches, in our places of worship, can we make sure that we're cultivating spaces for men to feel safe, to feel comfortable, to share, and to open up, so that everything's not kept inside?
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the real question, and what we really want to focus on, because now it's like we have to have a laser target. We can't keep losing people.
Hmm.
This is not it. We see pastors committing suicide and leaving the pastorship. They're out of here because it's just too much. I mean, there's a responsibility that we all have.
I completely agree with you on that right there. Wow, sis, when it comes to, church and community and, the brotherhood, even
Yeah.
the sisterhood. Okay, I real quick, because I know you mentioned, even pastors, committing suicide. You have to, you got to have routine. You got to have a circle. You got to have goals. You got to have things in place that, keep you sane. You feel me? That, take, yeah, that stir that negativity and that suicide and depression and all that other stuff away. Because that's, I mean, it builds on you. You need. Let me start it off like this: routine. Have you, let's say, exercise? That's a routine. Exercise is good for you. It builds overall health, spiritually, mentally, puts you in a better place, makes you more happy, makes you more healthy, all of that good stuff. Have that type of routine. You know, read a book once a month. That right there, that's goal setting right there. That keeps you energetic. That keeps you striving for something else. You know what I mean? Setting goals. Um, Community, circle. Have you some tight knit, dope, phenomenal, positive people around you. So when they see you in a funk, they see you not yourself. They see you like, all right, yo, they ain't looking right. Let me go holler at them real quick. Let me go take them out to eat and just chop it up, man, and see what's going on. You got to have your good circle, especially if you're the strong one. Yeah, it's you can get out here, like you said, you mentioned the pastor. You can get out here, and pour into everyone else, but you got to have somebody that can pour into you as well. You got to have somebody that can feed into you and strengthen you and keep your arms uplifted in the time of need or a time of crisis. Um, and what was the other one that I named off? Just have some you time.
Mm.
You got to have you some you time. Have some me time. It's okay, still away, go to the movies. It's okay to take a day off and whatever. Go shopping. I ain't saying you got to spend $3,000, but look, go buy yourself. You, oh well, if you can afford it, it's all good. But go go shopping, go spend, a few $100s on yourself, and go purchase something for you. That's healthy. Nothing wrong with that, man. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of people out here committing suicide because they're going through so much. They're holding so much in. They're not out here, doing positive things in the community. They're not doing things that, challenge them in a good way. They're not doing things, they're not resting. They're not, seeking guidance and seeking, advice. They're not seeking fellowship. They're not seeking, safe places where they can go and, vent and talk and just get that, again, like I said earlier, get that 1,000-pound gorilla off of the chest. It's a need. It's a need to cultivate a life of that all the time. You got to have that. You got to have that in your back pocket.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, you just listed so many good things. That's why I'm like, you're not rambling. You just talk, because I'm like, you have
Okay.
such
Okay.
good things to
Okay.
say. No, I mean, and that's why I really wanted to bring you on. I really really want to emphasize that I am concerned, and I really want to know how to best support Black men in this time. I mean, because that's the pandemic, right? Where we're expecting everyone to be so strong, you know what I mean? The pillars of the household. Sometimes, taking care of all the responsibilities, depending on how your marriage or your relationship is set up, being the provider, going out and gathering, going out and being the tough one, all the stuff on
Mhm.
your shoulders. And then we don't want you to share. We don't create a space where you can open up and you can peel back the layers. Like, what? Like, there's only one thing to be expected from that: poor mental health, a mental
That's-
breakdown, you know what I mean? An explosion of anger, or unfortunately, suicide. Like, that word is so taboo, but I'm going to keep saying it because,
mhm.
you know, I've realized, especially being in the church, okay, even if I don't say something, that doesn't mean that it goes away. It's
Right.
here. The
Right.
more the more quiet or silent we are about it, the more it grows. Things fester in the darkness. Think of mold, right? Think of spiders and cobwebs. All this fungi and fungus. It loves the darkness. I have decided to expose it to the light so it can shrivel up and grow smaller, right? I
Mhm.
really, for those of you who are watching now, for those of you who will listen, like Black men, I really want to know. And not just me, I'm just saying me because I'm here, but there is a collective of people who want to know how to best support you. Even those outside of our race, come on, what we have to be able to share with others. How do you need to be supported? And so you've given such gems, such jewels, where it's like, okay, this is what we can do. It doesn't have to be something big and extravagant, although that's welcome, depending on the person, right? You can't do a blanket gift. You have to know the person. You have to say what they
Right.
feel comfortable with. But it's just as simple as recognizing. I love that you said that, recognizing, okay, his attitude's a little different. He's not as chipper or as happy. Let me just check in. Let me just figure out. If you have kids, let me put the kids away. Let me get them settled. Let me just give some me and you time so you can know that you have my undivided attention. And I also, I know you probably have something to share from what I said, but I also would like you to incorporate the need for Black male self-care. You know what I mean? When you hear self-care, it's like Black woman self-care. Like, I think we have that down. We know how to go to the spa, get our nails done, get our
Yeah.
hair done,
Yeah. Yeah.
hang
Yeah.
out with the girls, right? But I want to encourage Black men to really do self-care. So I would love for you to share on some things you do. Like, this is your time. Share on some things you do,
I love it.
and encourage the Black men to get healed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Listen, I'm all for that, and that's something I've been preaching for some time now. That's one thing I give women props about when it comes to you guys self-care, uh, conferences and workshops, y'all go all out. And that's another thing I want my men's workshop. I'm just gonna flow how I flow. I want my workshop to look sexy. I want it to look appealing to brothers. Like, yeah, I'm like, cause women go all out. I mean, y'all go all out. Y'all conferences and workshops and self-care stuff, it'd be dope. And I admire that. With brothers, we we kind of we downplay it a little bit. So I'm like, yo, I want our joint to look sexy. I want it to look appealing. I want brothers, that can hear from the north, south, east, west. They're like, yo, what are they doing? I want to be a part of that. That type of appealing right there. And we're working, we're building, we're getting to that point. Self care, brothers got to make sure they fellas. It is nothing wrong with that. We're not designed to get up, do a 9 to 5, come home, eat, and go to sleep. That's not quality life. That's not living. That's just existing, man. You're so much more than that. So listen, self-care. My type of self-care, I love working out. I like going to the gym. I love doing that. I like shaping and molding myself into the person that I want to become. And it's also good for my mental health as well. I normally do it in the mornings. I like to jump it off in the mornings because, to quote my mentor, my pastor, a strong start to the day makes for a productive day. If you start
Mm.
strong, the day is going to be productive. So I like to work out at least 30 minutes. My type of self-care, I like going to the movies. Love the movies. I love the movies. I love ice cream. I treat myself to, ice cream or cinnamon roll, something like that, a honey bun. I love my sweets, man. Self-care, to get to the good stuff, the juicy stuff. I love massages. Fellas, nothing wrong with that. Go do your thing. Get a massage. If you're into, what do they call it? Pedicures, manicures, is nothing wrong with that. Fellas, handle your business. Stay groomed up. I love haircuts. I love getting a haircut. Shout out to my brother Derek Marshall, baddest, dopest, best barber stylist in the world. But he's located in Boston. Namel's Barbershop. Great place, man. But I love going to go get a haircut. I like to, stay well groomed. I like to look good. I like to feel good. And when you look good and you feel good, man, you get out here and you feel like you're Superman. So you out here making moves and doing all kind of great stuff. So I love grooming myself. I love getting haircuts, traveling. They got to be like my favorite one, man. I love to travel. I love the, you know, just go sightsee to go see something new, experience something different. I was serious. I would jump 3 or 4 states just to go eat and come back. And that's it. And to me, and I love it. That's my type of self-care right there, man. Um, Spending time with family. And for most people, they'd be like, "Oh, you do that on a regular day," but that's my type of self care. I love being around my peeps. I love being around family. I love being around, those that I care most about. I love seeing them happy. One of my favorite things when people ask me, they're like, "Chris, how you doing?" And I'll turn around and I'll say, "Listen, if you good, I'm good." And I sincerely,
Mm.
seriously mean it each and every time. And I say it all the time. And it's not something that's just, that's just his slogan or that's just my whatever motto or whatever. I really mean that because I love seeing my people happy. I love being around them. I'm a country boy from Texas. So, family is everything. Friends is everything. Your circle. That's everything, man. So I love seeing my people happy. So spending time with families, friends, associates that do something to me, just it keeps me uplifted. That's a type of self-care to me. Um, Man, at the moment, that's about it. Traveling, staying well groomed, staying around great positive people, exercising, that's self care, and just treating myself to some ice cream, a movie, that type of thing like that.
Listen, those are all great things. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, okay, outside of
Oh,
the
you know
travel.
what? My bad,
Mhm.
sis, and not to cut you off because something just
You're
dawned on
fine.
me too. I really need brothers. I can't stress this enough, fellas. It's okay to do it because men don't take that time out for. We don't take that time out for ourselves. We feel guilty for what is it 365 days out of the year. We take one of those days off of work and do it. We feel guilty. I'm like, bro, you've been working your entire life and you mean to tell me you feel guilty for taking off one day of work and taking some time out for your own mental health? We don't do that. We feel that's how backwards society is to us, man. Society will have us feeling guilty for trying to bring some kind of genuine, productive pleasure to our mental state and keep us sane or whatever. We will feel guilty after the fact. So I can't stress that enough. I need for brothers to know that it's okay to take time out for yourself. I'm a married man, and I would tell my wife, and I would tell other people, even though I'm married, I'm in a relationship. It's okay for me to take time out for myself and do me. Now, I'm not saying, go somewhere for 2 months away from your family, but
Right. Hold on.
yeah, I just want to, clear up because look, we don't need nobody doing nothing wild. I ain't saying you need to go to Hawaii for 2 or 3 months. No, nothing like that. But I'm talking about, just go to a park and walk around. Like I said, I like the movies. I mean, I told my wife there are times when I would go to the movies by myself just because I need that me time, that type of stuff like that. Go shopping or whatever the case may be. It's okay to do that. It's okay to steal away from your family and just, take 2 or 3 hours and spend some time for yourself. Get yourself together because we need a better to have for community, for family, for the body of Christ, for all of that to flourish, for all of that to thrive, and for all of that to keep staying productive and keep it rolling. Men have to be in a good mental state. And then, brothers, if we're not in a good mental state, all of that comes crashing down. Family starts crashing down. Society starts crashing down. Communities, schools, churches, the body of Christ, all of that comes crashing down if we don't take care of ourselves. And so that's why I want to stress it. That's why I'm stressing it, man. That's why I'm stressing it. Take time out for your mental state because if we fade away, everything else is going to fade away. If we're intact, if we're strong, if we're in good mental health, we got good health. If our heart is right, if we're pure, we're flowing in a place of authenticity, flowing in a place of strength. We ain't got no other choice but to continue success. Go ahead, sis.
Absolutely. No, I mean, I'm like, yes, and just hearing you is like, okay, awesome. Because you can be an example to black men who just find it difficult to practice self-care, right? There is some guilt associated with it. Oh my gosh, if I'm doing this, then someone's not being taken care of, or
Mhm.
do I really deserve this? Yes, that's the answer. Yes, yes, you do deserve it. And if we say nothing else, or if we get no other point across, then it's like the importance of just knowing that you have people who want to hear from you no matter what's happening, no matter what you're going through. There are people who want to hear from you, who want to support you, who want to encourage you and walk you through something. That if you feel like, oh, this is the end for me, or no one's going to miss me, no one loves me, no one wants to be around me,
Mhm.
I'm not worthy, I don't want to be here anymore, that you have people who said, whoa, you can talk to me, you can come to me, you can check in with me. Black men, if you want to connect with someone, if you want to be heard and feel seen and all of that, there is a brother right here. He has
Yeah.
said all of this to say, hey, you can reach out, you can connect. That if you feel comfortable, maybe you don't feel comfortable checking in with anyone else, maybe black men want to check in with black men. I'm all
Yeah.
for it. Good. Create that space. Awesome. Wonderful. But you are worthy of self care and you do deserve it and you need it. Bro, you talked about how society comes crashing down, if black men aren't doing self care, taking care of themselves because the pillars are removed. A
Mhm.
house cannot stand if
That's
that
it.
foundation is destroyed. If we're knocking down pillars, then everything's going to crumble and fall. And so we really just want to push the importance of you taking care of you. If you're watching now, if you're going to watch later, you taking care of you. It's so important. There are so many mental health just options out there for you to speak to someone, for you to talk to someone. And you know what? It's so important that we really depend on the Holy Spirit to direct us and guide us to the right spaces to be in.
Absolutely.
Because I understand, right? Like you share. So if okay, so now if we are already encouraging black men not to share from young, from 3 4, you start crying, don't cry, be a man, be strong. Okay, that's just talked about the whole time. So from 3 then to 8 to 15 to 16 to 26, 27, 35, going all the way up to 40, 50, whatever. Don't cry, be a man, be a man, be a man. And then it's like, no, share your feelings with me, I want to understand, I want to hear. Like,
Mhm.
I can't even imagine the conflict that happens up here.
Oh
you
yeah.
know I've heard I have to be a man, but then even if I get with someone romantic or like a friendship or whatever, I hear, oh, you don't show enough emotion, or you're too robotic, like that. We have to correct that. We have to make sure, by we I mean black women, women
Mhm.
in general, society has to correct that error, that gross error, that we have told men that they can't cry, they can't be vulnerable, they can't share, they can't show any form of weakness. Now the facade and the mask comes up. Now the
Mhm.
steel wall comes up. Now we have to peel back all those layers and all the masks that have been put up, because it's like, well, I have to show that I'm happy and strong all the time, but I'm really being destroyed on the inside.
It's a thing of balance, definitely
Yeah.
balance. And I want to touch on something because you sparked my interest. Um, extend grace to men. Extend grace. Extend grace. Women from an early age, y'all were brought up different than us. And I would also I would go so far to say that when it comes to getting into relationships and
Mhm.
having successful relationships, y'all are pretty much more ready than we are. You're
Yeah.
definitely emotionally you're definitely ready, more prepared than men are. So when we get into relationships, we're still trying to figure things out, as far as when it comes to emotions and family and all of this other stuff like that. um Sometimes we be having to wing it, and I'm guilty of it. I've done that because I'm flowing in a certain place. The old me is like, okay, be hard, don't be vulnerable, don't show emotions and this and that. And meanwhile, because society is saying this is what a man is, this is what a husband is. A husband is hard, a husband is, strong all the time, a husband is, stern all the time. So I had to learn how to be a gentle husband. I had to learn to be um and cultivate an atmosphere of, I want to say it, peace, and opening up to my wife and that type of stuff like that. Men need grace when it comes to relationships. We need grace, to know how to flow and unlearn some things. And in the meantime, we're, learning new things. We're killing off old traits, old characteristics, and picking up the right things and learning the right way on how to be a proper husband or a
Good.
proper man in society. We need that grace extended to us just a little bit more, because society, for so long, society has told us this is how we're supposed to be. And now we see that this is a lie. This is not how we're supposed to be. Now we're learning the correct way on how to do things and how to flow when it comes to our women and our sisters, um, and just being able to pour into y'all the correct way and lead y'all the correct way as a man.
Yeah, I mean, and I love that you mentioned that grace, and then I'm thinking of okay, having the patience. You really walk through the timeline that from when I was young, I was taught about getting married and the importance of that, and yada yada yada. And sometimes it's a double standard where men are sometimes encouraged to sow their wild oats, right? If we're being honest, right? It's cool to be with a whole bunch of women and it's cool to do this. We see that in society. What? Like, oh, he's a little player, like
Mhm.
when someone's
We
like
big
60,
that up. Yeah, we big that up.
oh, yeah, he's a little pimp. And, we say those toxic statements and then wonder why it takes so long for men to get in these relationships. And it's like, we have got to correct this. We have to dial back. And it's a mindset that I don't want to encourage that behavior and
Yeah,
that I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it's cool. Sometimes a woman can be looked at as loose or, just out there if that happens. But on the other end, the opposite end, oh, man, he's the man. He's a Mac. I mean, it is that is what we're seeing now is really damaging and has damaged
yes,
relationships between men and women while we see such an imbalance where women are prepared and then we have to wait now for men to
mhm,
kind of say okay, I'm ready, but then it's like okay, I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, you're ready but I'm annoyed, I don't want to be
yeah,
with you, like it's just one
yeah,
big cycle. And we have to really see our part in that and what
yeah.
that looks like to encourage men to be vulnerable
But
without calling them punks. I like that you mentioned that, not
yeah,
punks, not weak, but being human. We have made men be robots. We
hmm,
have not allowed for humanity to come. I'm not talking about flesh. I mean humanity,
hmm,
that we were made, that God gave us our emotions and our feelings and everything, and that we have suppressed and oppressed and pushed down and kept down unnaturally the feelings of man. That's not right. Who said that? We have to
hmm.
undo that. And it's not going to get better until we recognize and are aware and start to dial some of that stuff back.
That is so real. And just hearing you talk, but can you see how that destroys the family? You feel me?
Destroys.
Do you see that? You know what I mean? Women are ready and ready to flow and ready to, to birth babies and just have this extravagant relationship and marriage. And men, because society has groomed us a certain way, we're still trying to, figure things out at the age of 30, 35. We don't, it don't click until we get, sometimes with some brothers, they don't click until we get in our 40s and 45s. So
Right.
it's like the quality of life. I mean, yeah, you can still do phenomenal things at the age of 40 and 45, but look at all the time that was wasted.
Mm-hmm.
What if it was done the correct way from the jump? And that's the place where we're getting to now. And I'm so
Mm-hmm.
proud of Black men. I'm so proud of Black women. I'm proud of our community. I'm proud of you bringing things like this to awareness. And like you said, as you stated it earlier, you're not going to be quiet about this. And that's good. Don't be quiet about it because people need to hear this. There are people still dealing with suicide. There are people still dealing with depression,
Yeah,
anxiety, all of this stuff like that. And so they need to see someone like you. They need to see someone like me
absolutely.
coming to a live, coming to, hosting workshops and meetings and this type of stuff like that, taking phone calls, responding to emails like, hey, we're here for you. You might be dealing with something. We are here for you. We take pleasure in this. This is a passion for us. We want to see our community doing well. But I want to big up my people because, yeah, things that we picked up from the past and we're laying it down, we've gotten so much better. Um, when you mentioned, before, back in the day, it was it was cute for, the young men. It was cute for us to play the field, and have multiple women on our arms and this and that. And thinking about it, it's crazy. We actually thought that was manhood.
Yes.
We thought that was manly. There's is nothing manly about that. That's a headache. You having five women, trying to hold on to five different women. I'm like, listen, and it breaks your pocket. Okay, I
Yes.
hope men still ain't doing that, but they're not doing that. I brought that up to say, brothers, my age and older, that used to live like that, they're now teaching their sons. Before was, go to college and sleep whatever, sleep with how many women you want to. They're not teaching. Young men aren't being taught that right now. Young men are being taught, go to college, get your degrees, start your business, become an entrepreneur, handle your business, get yours. They were like, yo, these women, not to, discredit my sisters. I'm just going to talk how brothers talk. Like, they're like, yo, these fast girls, leave them be. Go get yours. Go handle your business, man. Take care of yourself. Do your thing. And when you get of age, yeah, you go get you a nice, romantic, have a nice romantic relationship. Get you a nice woman, that type of thing like that. But I'm so proud of our community because we are doing better. We're absolutely doing better, and and it starts with stuff like this, just bringing awareness, just having high level conversation, just having talks and venting, and just being available, stuff like this, man. So I salute you, sister.
Thank you, bro. I salute you too, and I mean, I don't know if you're being prophetic talking about workshops and stuff. I mean, we can get it cracking because
I'm
I
for it.
I do feel that, and you talked to me about this before, men and women who are healed need to help others who are not, right? So there is a huge divide, and I think in communication and understanding and right wrong between black men and black women at times, where they're like, oh, all black women are horrible, all black men are horrible, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you've seen every black woman or man, but anyway, that's a whole different topic, right?
Yeah,
Okay, we make
listen, I'm
those.
about to go off. Yeah, let's bring it back in.
Right. We make those toxic general statements like you've encountered every black male and black
Right.
woman in the entire universe. Okay, cool. No, you're talking about the ones that you were with because you wanted to go to. We didn't. We're not talking about we didn't listen to God, right? We didn't. He said no, don't go there, but we wanted to go there
Hmm.
anyway. But anywho, I digress. But having these conversations where we are allowing for a safe space for black men and black women to come together in conversation to heal, that we restore the community with conversation, because there's been so many misunderstandings and we stay on one side and y'all stay on the other
Yeah,
side. We just talk amongst ourselves and you all talk amongst yourselves and there's no one who brings them together. So if that's what needs to happen, let's get it cracking,
I love
because
it. I love
this
it. I'm here
we're
for that.
going into a new year and this is truly that year of healing for real. That's what I keep hearing. Healing for real, right? We talk about healing, but healing for real, not because it's popular, it's a fad. Ooh, self-care is a fad. No, get healing for real so that we can stop damaging our children, each other, and society, right? That we build up the Black family so that we can have a firm foundation to raise our children and to build each other up. So whatever needs to happen in that capacity, I am with it. I'm with it all the way.
I love it. That's what I'm here for, man. I love it. I love it. And I heard that exact same, well, not the exact same thing, but something similar is the healing. Once we bring, once family, when you did this, when you said, when we come together, I'm like, yeah, when it, oh my God, man, when families are healed, listen, man, watch out. Watch out, watch out, watch out. When the family, when men are healed, the woman is healed, the man is healed, the family, the entire family flourishes. And that's what we want in our communities. That's what we want. Productivity. That's what we want. And then from that, you look at finances being better. What you want to call the black dollar. What does it say that? You see the black dollar, being better. You see real estate, you see communities, just better. It starts at home. It starts
Yeah.
with the family first. It starts with the family. So the family gets good, the community gets good. Community gets good, business gets good. It's, it keeps going up and up and up. That's the way to go. So yeah, you nailed it. Let's get healed, man.
Yes.
Do the
Awesome.
work. We gotta
Awesome.
do the work. We gotta do the
Yeah.
work.
Got to do the work, more to come. And what I realized that in these spaces of healing, that even though
Mhm.
we've reached a certain level of healing, we receive healing in spaces of healing, right? That healing is a journey that is just ongoing and going and going. And even if we're the ones leading it, that we're getting healed right in that same space and learning more about ourselves. And you're right. I mean, it's like a domino effect. If the family comes back together, right, then it strengthens the community, our economy, society, and it really influences the entire world because we can have a stable place to go from. Like, I just want to see our community doing well. We
Absolutely.
uplift and upbuild and build up all these other communities. Don't even get me started on how much money we pump into the hair
Mhm.
care industry,
Oh,
would have
come on.
no piece of that pie.
Yeah,
Billions of dollars, but we are
billion.
not billionaires because of it. That's, we don't even trust ourselves to spend money in our own communities. Oh, you know how Black people
Mm,
are, and you know how, come on, we have to do better. And
we do.
sometimes we can be a certain way. Okay.
Facts. Look, you speak it truth. You speak it truth.
We can, but we have to give each other a chance, and we don't trust each other
Absolutely.
anymore. And I just want to say that honestly, that there is a breach of trust, and that those who are called and those who see the breach are called to help repair it. And so I'm looking forward to whatever that looks like. Of course, bringing in Maria and many others who can speak to the hearts of
Oh
people.
yeah.
Right, we're going past the surface level. We got to go deep
We
down
gotta go deep.
hearts, into the minds, into the psyche, and really get this thing together.
We getting it together. Hey, look, we already in motion,
We're
and
in motion.
we're doing the work right here already, man. Like I said, I mean, uh, I just got out of my men's meeting earlier. It was dope, phenomenal. But it starts with stuff like that, and I stressed to my pastor, I'm like, yo, it's an urgency for us to get this back going. The
Urgency.
pandemic kind of, let me not say kind of did, jack everything up. We were doing this every third Saturday of the month. And then, COVID hit, the pandemic hit, kind of shut everything down. And I'm saying, things is opening back up. I'm like, yo, Pastor, uh, in my own personal work, I was, just working with men on the side, taking phone calls, hosting meetings on Zoom, just doing, just basic check-ins with the brothers. You're like, hey, man, how you doing? You know what I mean? That type of stuff like that. I'm like, listen, we need to get this back going in the church. We need to get the men's empowerment workshop, the work group. We got to get the life group going again because brothers need that. They need that. So many times prior to the life group coming back together, when I'm on the phone with brothers, and at by the end of that conversation, they're venting, they're telling me all this going on with life and this and that. They tell me, they're like, yo, man, I feel so much better. And that's when it dawned on me. I'm like, most people, they just need to vent. Like I said, I'm not no therapist, and I tell them like I'm a life coach. I'm not a therapist. There's some things I can work you through, and work some stuff out of you, but some things I'm not gonna be able to touch or go in depth. Like we got to get you, more serious help. But like I said, from what I gathered, cats just need to get that 1,000-pound gorilla off their chest. They just
Yeah.
need to be around someone that's authentic, be around someone that's genuine, and someone that's actually showing love and showing that they care. And it just makes the world a difference. We people think that you got to get out here and put on this cape and do all these um, I don't know, man. What's the word I want to look for?
Like,
Extravagant things.
yeah,
Like you just gotta have so much.
acrobats. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you just gotta have so much stuff in stone and set in place. Nah, like just start. You can go to a park. It's cold now. We ain't going outside now. But when the weather gets nice, you can go. You can simply have host a meetup at a park and just gather around and just talk. Have some. Bring some. I don't know what you want. Bring some juice. Bring some wine. Bring some crackers or whatever. Bring some snacks and just talk and just let nature, let God, let the healing begin. You see how beautiful that is, and you see how simple that is. That's all people need right there. They just need a community that cares. And once that take place, man, look, we're good. But
Oh,
yes, it's a need for black men to have a safe space. It's a need for brothers to have a safe space. It's vital. It's important. It's so important right now. And again, this came about because of the young man that
yeah.
committed suicide the other day. Very sad. Left the family behind. And it's yeah, we can't stand by and let that continue. We got to do something about that. Well, we are doing something about that. That's why we, online and having this conversation now. But we can't continue to let black men, take their life due to pressure and stress of life. It's like, look, we're here for you. We're here for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was so like, oh man, he had three kids, a wife. He looked seemingly happy and jovial and joyful, and it exposes the mask that he was a black man. So I have to say, it exposes the mask that black men have to wear. That they have to present themselves to be strong and
Hmm.
always laughing, or maybe being the class clown or life of the party, but really not authentically happy.
Yeah,
Happy people don't take their lives, and I'm just saying what I'm saying, right? There is a
that's real.
level of sadness and depression that you have to feel, a sense of hopelessness that you have to feel. Suicide is like a seed in your mind, and it's very hard to pluck it out, and you need a community, and you need a safe space, and you need a men's life group, and you need all these
Yeah,
different things and tools to make sure that that seed is plucked out, because it's very hard to pluck out once it's been planted in your mind. And so it's so imperative. And I like that you mentioned the urgency. That's I'm like, ooh, I felt that urgency to just talk, to chat, to get together, and to really
hmm,
put it in the atmosphere that we are not going to lay down and allow people just to be taking their lives, right? That if there's certain things going on, that we're going to make sure that people know there are safe spaces to share and to talk about, where you will not be judged, you will not be looked down upon, you not be
right.
made to feel less than. We're going to encourage you and lift you up, and even if people have to take a step back while others go forward, whatever it takes to get this thing done and to let people know, hey, you matter,
Yeah,
and you're here, and we need you here,
yeah.
and this is not your end, and the book is not closing. That's what I've been saying. Oh, the
Wow.
curtains aren't closing, the book is not shutting, your life matters, and you're still here, you're still here. So believe it or not, we've been talking for an hour.
That's dope, man. That's
I
dope. One
know.
thing, real quick, everything that you just said, what does that sound like?
um I don't know.
It sounds like hope.
It
And
sounds so sweet.
oftentimes that's what people need to hear. Even in the midst of the storm, the troubles, bills might be piling up, you know, ain't enough money to put gas in the tank, you stressing and worrying about, the next whatever. You get around the right people, they know how to speak life into you. They know how
I'm
to
like,
they know how to give you hope and strength for the next day. And that's what this is all about. That's what
yeah,
this is all about, providing hope to our community, man. So we're here
right.
for it. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's been an hour, man. It's been an hour.
I know. I'm like, what? So I want to respect your time and all that. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you just being available. You availed yourself. This was quick. This was impromptu. Sometimes you can plan things out a month in advance, but wanting to make sure to strike while the iron was hot, that people are
Absolutely.
seeing and knowing and hearing that there are safe spaces, and the importance of us cultivating a safe space for us to be to other people,
Hmm.
and us seeing the importance of going and finding a safe space in others. We can't do this without each other. And we have to ask ourselves, can people be vulnerable with us? And if that answer is no, or if you never thought of that, take some time to be aware of that. Can people be
Hmm.
vulnerable with you?
That's
Can
good.
people share with you authentically? Or
That's
do they have
good.
to put on a mask for your own sake because you can't handle them at their worst? Sometimes people fake and pretend because this person has not shown me that they can handle me at my worst. We don't even deserve people at their best if we can't handle them at their worst. There is no way. That's the balance, that I can see you at your worst and say, I know you're still worthy. I know you're still awesome, but you're going through some human emotions. So that's the whole point. This is about hope, 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 hope. There
Yeah,
is
man.
hope. We're pumping hope. We're hope dealers, okay?
I,
Pumping hope into the atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like,
I
wait a
love it,
minute.
man. I love it. I love it. To piggyback off of you real quick. And on the flip side, I want people, I know you meant what you just, I heard what you just mentioned. On the flip side, those that I want people to be courageous enough. When you see people, when you find someone that they're showing you that they're authentic, they're showing you that they love you, they're showing you that they
Nice.
care. I want you to be courageous enough to go to those people, go to that individual, and let your guard down, vent, cry, whatever the case may be. And I'm speaking to across the board. I know
Mm.
this is about the men, but community in general, to our people, black sisters, black men. Uh, be courageous enough, be strong enough to let your guard down. Be courageous enough to be vulnerable. Do that so you can receive the help, you can receive the hope, and you can receive the love that your spirit need at that moment.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So before we wrap up, can you just share and yeah, just share where people can find you, how people can find you. Please share the information about the men's life group. I really believe that we're sparking the seeds of, yes, hope, and people saying, okay, I'm seeing light at the end of this dark tunnel that I've been in for a while. There are people who want to help, assist, want to lend an ear to you. Let's get rid of the narrative that you're on an island by yourself. The time of the lone
Right.
wolf is done. That
Right.
time is over. That I'm just
Yep.
gonna make it through by myself. That time is done. You will not make it unless you have a team, a
Come on.
tribe of exactly what Brother Chris said.
Yeah.
Very highly positive people. You should be able to tell that. You can look at your timeline and see if everyone's talk. You don't want any negativity where people are going to be bringing you down
Mhm.
and talk. No, no, no. We want highly positive people around us speaking life into us. It's so, so, so important. So, bro, please share how people can contact you, get in touch with you, to make
Yes.
sure.
So you can reach me Facebook, Christopher Henson. Um, and I'm also the founder of Created to Influence. That's created then the number two influence at gmail.com. You can hit me with the email. Um, I respond quick. Definitely reach out. Created to Influence. And also for the men's life group is ran through my church, pastored by Ego Ezidi, um, Men's Empowerment Life Group. We host this every third Saturday of the month. 1933 Main Street in Brockton, Massachusetts. Definitely reach out to myself, reach out to my sister if you guys need more information. But yes, please get with us every third Saturday of the month. Fellas, we come together, we fellowship, we talk, we work through some things, we work out, our problems, we, find solutions to what's going on. We bounce ideas off each other. And look, we got a lot of great things in store, man. Basketball competitions, we got bowling competitions coming up because although I'm a fan of us just sitting around and fellowshipping and talking, I'm also a fan of us getting out and doing some kind of activity, hiking and all this other great stuff. We've got a lot of phenomenal stuff jumping off. But yes, reach me at Facebook, Christopher Henson, on IG, Life Coach _Chris, and then created to influence at gmail.com. Please get in touch with me. And our church is located at 1933 Main Street, Brockton, Massachusetts. Empowerment Christian Church, pastored by Ego Ezidi. Look, we're here for y'all.
I love it. And viewers, I'm gonna make sure to drop this on Facebook, on YouTube. I'll put it in the comment section. I'll get all that information from Brother Chris so you can have access to him and he can give you access to the other things that are needed. Black men, we love you. Brother Chris, love you so much. Literally, thank
I love
you.
you more.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for again availing yourself to just speak and talk and to encourage, right? Sometimes we need to hear it from each other, right? Black men, you're hearing why you need to do self-care and really take care of yourself. You are the pillar of the society,
Hmm.
not just of our community, of society. There's so many people who depend on you inside and outside of our race. If you're not okay, then society is not okay, and that's a reality. And so God is using people like Chris to direct you to the right place to be. You've been struggling for so long. The burden has been so heavy, but now is your time where we have the fork in the road, where you can choose to go on the same path you've been on, or you can choose to take some of these options that have been discussed so wonderfully tonight. The choice is up to you. We are encouraging you to take care of yourself, to make sure that you know that you matter, that we need you here, that even if we don't know you personally, we need you here to remain here. Your life matters. Stay here. Stay here. Stay present. Find your purpose. Fulfill your purpose.
That's
Live
it.
out your gifts
Oh,
and do
that's
what
it.
you need to do.
That's it. I'm so sorry, sis. I got
Go
excited.
ahead.
Man, listen, that's what the enemy look, the enemy
Ah!
wants. Look, yo, fellas, the enemy wants to take your purpose. He wants to rob your gifts. He wants to rob your talents. He wants to rob those other people that are connected to your purpose. He wants to rob all of that. And if he takes you out with suicide, he takes you out with depression, all that fades away. Listen, brothers, please understand and know this. Y'all are kings. God has
Kings.
called y'all. He has called us. Let me let me toss myself in. Look, we are kings, brothers. We are priests. We are leaders. We are pillars. Like my sister said, we are pillars. We are holding up. We're the ones that hold up our communities. We are the one that holds up our families, man. God has called us to be sons. We're out here, y'all. We are out here. Listen, do not let the enemies rob you of your purpose. Do not let the enemy rob you of your passions. Don't let the enemy rob you of your gifts and your talents, man. Listen, depression, suicide, listen, man, we cancel all of that. We destroy all of that. Listen, man, as fellas, as brothers, as kings, as leaders, as husbands, as fathers, listen, we're going to live a life of abundance. We're going to live a life of prosperity. We're going to live a life of goodness, of grace and love. We're going to be out here, man. We're going to achieve all of this, man, because we're kings and we walk, like my sister said, we matter. We matter. I matter. You matter. We matter. We have so much, oh my God, we have so much value out here. And that's why the enemy wants to take us out. But listen, we're going to keep our value. We're going to elevate our value. We're going to get out here and grow. We're going to get out here and love on each other, support each other, and we're going to flow in a place of passion and purpose. I love it, man. Sis, I just got so excited off of that, man, because I'm like, oh
Look,
my God. Look, man, I'm like, yo, we're kings, man. But listen, we out here, look, brothers, we love y'all, sisters, we love y'all too. Man, look, we good. We out here.
nothing else for there to be said. I'm not following after that. That was amazing and that was wonderful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for sharing and sending this to people who really need it. Selah. That's it. We'll end with Selah. Thank you so much.